Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'll be solving this question subarray with the given sum. So our input, the first line of our input contains of the test cases. Here we have two test cases, that is why we have two arrays here. So the first line of each test case. Now let's look at the first test case. Now, this 5 is the size of our array and 12 is the sum of the sub-array. Now we have to return the first and the last index of our sub-array such that its sum is 12. Now in this example 2 plus 3 plus 7 equals 12. So we have written the position of 2 and the position of 7, that is 2 and 4. Okay. Now let's see how we'll work out our algorithm. Firstly, initially we need to maintain our start and last index because we have to print these values in the end. Then we will iterate our complete array using our for loop. Okay. Now we will add our array elements one by one to current sum. And if in case our current sum becomes greater than our sum s, that is 12, if our current sum becomes greater than 12, I have to start removing the elements from starting from my first index. Let's see. Now I have added 1 to my current sum, then I'll add 2, it will be 1 plus 2 3, and then I'll add 3 plus 3 6, then I'll add 7 plus 6 I'll have 13. Yes, now 13 is greater than 12. I need to stop here, and my start index is pointing at 0 right now. I will be removing the elements starting from the starting index. So first I'll remove 1. I'll get 12. Now this is equal to my sum. So then I'll increment my starting index to this position, to 2. So now since it is equal, I don't need to remove any more elements from the start. So I'll return this s and this position. So it will be ith position. That is, I'll be printing the starting and the last index. In case my current sum never matches to this sum, I'll return -1. I'll print -1. Okay. So this is what we have to do in our program here. Now let's start writing our program. I'll first start with the main function. Right from accepting input, I'll create an scanner object. I'll create my scanner object. The first thing I'll be inputting is my test case, number of test cases. Now, in my for loop, I'll create a for loop. I'll tell you why. In this, I'll input my size of array first. And then I'll be inputting the sum of array. Okay. I'll create my array here using new keyword, and its size will be that of n. I hope you can see the code. One by one, using for loop, I'll input my array elements. Array of I equals s dot in. Okay. I forgot to tell you all, here we have to input just non-negative integers. Okay. Now let me create my function where I'll be doing all my operations. So it will be a public and a static function which will be returning an integer value. I'll name it sub array sum. Okay. Now here, if my test cases are 2, this for loop will help me take in my input twice. Now I have to run my function, call this specific function twice. I'll return my array, the size of an array, and the sum of subarray. Okay. Firstly, I'll define and initialize some variables. First variable will be current sum. I'll initialize it as the first element. I forgot to take arguments here, so my parameters are array, integer n, and integer sum. And I have to define my starting index and initialize it as 0 and I, just for the for loops. So we have to iterate through our array initially. So let's write a for loop which will help us to iterate through our array, starting from 1, I less than equals to n, I plus plus. Why did I start from 1 and not from 0? Because my 0th element is already stored in current sum. So that is why I am starting it from 1. Firstly, we have to check if our current sum exceeds the sum, and then remove the starting element if it does, until we get current sum which is less than or equal to our sum. Now we'll write our condition if current sum is greater than sum, and also if our start should be less than I minus 1, right? I will remove the elements, subtract the elements from the starting index, and then I'll also have to increment the position of my starting index. So if my current sum becomes equals to sum, I'll have to return the starting and the last index. System.out.println since I have to return the position and not index, I'll do start +1 here. A little space in between, and we'll return I, the value for I, which is last position, and we'll terminate our loop here. And yes, we'll also have to add our elements one by one in current sum. So if I is less than n, I'll add the elements to current sum. Array of I. If current sum never matches to our sum, then we will have to print -1. So system.out.println -1, and we will return 0 here. Now let's compile and run our program. Let's check if there's any error. Yes, there is an error. Okay, I forgot to specify our object name. Okay, is there any other J here? Because we already have a for loop here with I. Let's compile and run and check for any more errors. Wow, we are getting our correct output. Let's submit it. It's taking quite a time to evaluate. It works! We got our correct answer. I hope you all understood the algorithm behind this. If you have any doubts or queries, please drop them down into comment section, and if you have any suggestions, they are also most welcome. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.